This video shows the process of converting um, a data set in Excel format in which the geography is expressed as coordinates, XY coordinates, or latitude, longitude coordinates, and in which the data is stored in a spreadsheet. And there's many data sets that come in this form, and it does have a geographic location, geographic component, but it's not a true geographic data set as a shapefile would be. So this video shows how to capture a data set such as this, which is bulk storage locations of materials in New York State, the type, the name, the street address, and also the geographic location. So we're going to capture this data, all of this information of the many different um, sites of interest in New York State. We're going to capture that in a GIS system. So we need to close this data set because if it's open in Excel, it may not work correctly when we try to also access the file in ArcGIS. So switching over to ArcGIS, the step that the process that allows us to capture that Excel formatted semi-geographic data into a shapefile or other real geodatabase is to ask for File, Add Data, Add XY Data. So the file in that data set is referred to as XY data. And first step is to go ahead and try and find it wherever it happens to be. And that's the data set. We'll point to the sheet within the data, the book, the Excel book of which is a collection of sheets, and I can say add, and it's also necessary to tell it that the x coordinate and the y coordinate are as such, and also to indicate what the coordinate system is that data is in, and its name kind of gives that away. It's a UTM coordinate system. So we'll just edit and go through the process of finding a UTM coordinate system. The NAD83 is the form of this one. It is necessary to know what the data representation is, what the georeferencing system is, and I believe the best choice we might use is 18N, and we'll say OK, and OK, and OK, and the result is all of the bulk storage sites in New York State, plus two, which obviously have errors in their X and Y, X or Y, or both coordinates in the spreadsheet. And we can actually test that by actually clicking on one and seeing that there's a point where it says it's 0, 0 are the coordinates. So that's problematic. So the good data is all up here. So it's possible to zoom in and even zoom in some more to a particular location. And as an example of showing an actual mapping project, we might go ahead and also ask for some county boundaries, for instance, to be added, such as, we could add Yates County. And there's Yates County. And that helps me to do something such as zooming to the layer. And there's a map of Yates County, and it shows all of the bulk storage sites within the boundary of Yates County. And moving ahead to some sort of a layout or an output, it's possible to put a title and a north arrow, etc. It's also possible to ask for properties, ask for symbology, and categories, and site type, add all values, and it'll tell us all the different sites or types um, that are available. Or perhaps we could do this, perhaps look at the status at this time or the expiration date, and do add all values, in which we discover that there's actually several different categories: sites that are active, inactive, unregistered, how they are in the data set. If they haven't been registered, I don't know, and ones that are closed or unregulated. And we can go ahead and say OK, and now there's a different color for each. And the final step in this process, of course, is to help the reader of this document understand what the different colors mean. And the best way to do that would be to insert a legend, and the legend, and we'll just go ahead and give let it build a legend with all of the default characteristics, and I will aim on the legend there. Better. And since we're only interested in Yates County, we now have a legend. And there's a number of ways to manipulate the legend. We can go ahead and go back to Properties and go back to and not show all values, and say OK. And we can also go to Properties and tell it that we would like to have nothing shown for the title because it's not meaningful. And now we have a pretty good legend with the colors. Could also go ahead and ask for the properties of that legend, and we could ask for some sort of background coloring and say OK. And now we can see that we can change the symbology to be more distinctive. But this is the essence of capturing data from an Excel spreadsheet and making a map out of it. Data that has geographic coordinates but still is only in an Excel spreadsheet, and making a data set out of it.